You may be seated. Hi, my name is Angus McGregor, Eagle Scout and Junior Assistant Scoutmaster, Troop A3. I did some research on the sermon before I came today, and the best advice I could come up was I have to have a good beginning, a great ending, but have as little in the middle as possible. So ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk with you about backpacking, canoeing, and life. In life, we have no control over the trials or obstacles that may arise. We do, however, have control over what choices we make in dealing with them. I have always loved the outdoors. I started backpacking when I was 3 years old. I was just a little guy back then. I carried my own backpack and only had my fishing rod, small tackle box, and windbreaker in it, but I carried it. I loved going out backpacking and hiking for 4 to 5 day trips with my mom and dad. I loved learning how to fish at 4th of July Lake, so for me, starting in Cub Scouts at the age of 6 years old with Pack A3 was perfect. Every summer at Camp Lassen, as Cub Scouts, we had the option of taking a swim test in order to be allowed to fish and canoe. The challenge was that the lake was freezing cold. As soon as I jumped in, the freezing temperatures would make it so hard for me to breathe, but I never quit. I passed every summer, and sometimes was one of the only kids that did it. I wanted to be able to fish and canoe, and I knew if I didn't pass the swim test, I would not be able to do these things. The bottom line was that in order for me to have fun, I had to persevere through some not so very fun things. Through scouting and through my life, I have come to learn. Life is hard. Life isn't always easy. Oftentimes, the sacrifice and hardship you must overcome to have fun and achieve your goals. The key is to never give up. Keep pushing through. Be positive. Trust in God and know that in the end, you can look back at your achievements and know that they were worth it. The best memories don't always come for free. I then went on to Boy Scouts, where the lessons continued. Being a Boy Scout with Troop A3 is awesome. We had to go on epic summer hikes. We learned while earning merit badges like first aid, cooking, rifle shooting, bugling, and backpacking. I have learned the most going on the 9-day, 50-plus mile hikes with Troop A3. I've learned to adapt and figure things out for myself and with my fellow scouts. For example, trying to figure out the warmest possible way to make a shelter out of the resources around us. Spending nights laying on cold, hard rocks with leaves and twigs and a tarp covering with your buddies makes for the perfect night's sleep. Trust me on this. I got through it. It was not always easy. In fact, sometimes it was really hard. However, our youth and adult leaders gave us the tools, ideas, and knowledge to know what to do. This last summer, I was senior patrol leader and led our troop on a 70-plus mile hike along the Pacific Crest Trail. I got to lead our troop as we conquered Mount Eddy, which was one of the tallest peaks on our route. Looking west from the top of the mountain, we could see the point where our trip had started 3 days earlier. And looking south, we could see where our trip would end in 5 more days. It was super cool. The lessons I have learned in leading this trip and in other aspects of scouting are preparing me for life. One of those lessons is how to endure. Friends, I would like you to imagine something with me. You are on day 4 of a 9-day hike. You're at mile 4 and have 11 more to go. Your feet hurt, your mouth is dry, and all you can think about is home, your nice comfy bed, and a big juicy cheeseburger. You can't just stop and say, I'm done. You have to push through it. And in Troop A3, we don't just push through it alone. In Troop A3, we push through as a team. We all have been there, wanting to quit, but now at the end of that 15-mile day, you're up on a mountain, gazing at the beauty of the skies, the lake, and those beautiful, cold, sharp rocks that poke you all night long. You study the panoramic view and the vast distances represented by fading shades of blue. In one direction, you can see where your journey began, and another, you can see where your journey will take you. Beyond that blue is home. As you breathe a little harder in the thin air, you are filled with a huge sense of accomplishment. If we would have quit or lost faith, we wouldn't have experienced the thrill of conquering a mountain. If we wouldn't have endured, we would have never seen the breadth of God's canvas. Another lesson that I have learned is the power of a positive mental attitude. Once you go to work with a can-do mindset, rather than wasting time on thinking something can't be done. One story that I like to bring up is the canoeing trip that I attended way back in the summer of 2017. On this trip, one of our goals was to complete the canoeing merit badge. We had to buddy up and go through many drills, such as filling up our canoe with water and then getting it out while being in the middle of the river. Most of these drills were fairly easy. However, getting yourself and your buddy back into an unmanned canoe while floating in the water proved to be a challenging drill. For those of you who are unfamiliar with this process, it's like a waterborne game of teeter-totter, and my buddy was Wyatt. Wyatt, could you please stand up? Come to this side. As you can see, Wyatt and I are slightly different in size. Little did we know, this would prove to be a significant issue. While most people got it done relatively quickly, it took us a long time. We did not give up, and as frustrating as it was, we completed the requirement that day. We kept trying, and no matter how many times we flipped that boat over, we got right back and tried again. One quote that I thought fit perfectly to the story is that perseverance is falling 19 times and getting up 20. As silly as that entire situation appeared, it proved that with a positive mental attitude, you can accomplish a seemingly impossible task. Wyatt, thank you for your positive mental attitude and not giving up on me. You're a true friend. Often in life, we choose the easy way around obstacles. However, I have found that the harder you work for something, whether it's conditioning for football practice or showing up 30 minutes extra early to school, the extra effort and hard work makes the end result that much better. When you feel exhausted and you're still faced with a mountain to climb, or in the middle of the water with Wyatt as your buddy, and your canoe is swamped, you have to trust that God will guide you through it and help you stay positive and endure those obstacles. James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." In life, there are choices. You will face a trial or an obstacle, but a decision has to be made. Do you climb the mountain and reap the reward, or do you stay in the valley? I chose to climb the mountain.